There was a time in my career when I believed I needed to tone myself down to be successful, to be less visible, less certain, less me. And the truth is, I wasn't afraid of failing. I was afraid of being seen fully. With one phone call from the new regional manager, the brokerage was gone. Out of the blue, we were replaced by a new ownership group. It was about 2007, the market collapsed. I'm Gayle Phillips, in case you didn't know. My picture's all over, it's on the table. I don't know what Haley was thinking, but she had extra frames and we had extra pictures, so bear with us, thank you. But before we begin, I want to acknowledge something personal. While we were preparing for today's Own the Room event, our family was also walking through the unimaginable loss of my daughter, Emily. Many of the promotions on social media that you saw were created and scheduled before she passed, and it felt uncomfortable to see celebration and grief existing side by side. I share this simply to say thank you to those who reached out with calls, texts, hugs, and quiet support. Your kindness carried us through a very tender season, and we are all deeply grateful. Today I stand here holding both loss and gratitude, and we appreciate you so much. So now, the other part. I want to start by telling you something I don't think I would have said out loud 10 years ago. There was a time in my career when I believed I needed to tone myself down to be successful, to be less visible, less certain, less me. And the truth is, I wasn't afraid of failing. I was afraid of being seen fully and deciding that maybe I was too much, too opinionated, too ambitious, too big for the room. What I didn't understand then, that shrinking doesn't create safety, it creates distance from your voice, from your confidence, and eventually from your purpose. In the year 2000, I got my real estate license. I was 40 years old, newly married for the second time, my husband's here, and stepping into what would become my second career. My friend Susan Covington encouraged me tremendously. My first career was in government. I worked for the City of Fresno. I worked in the mayor's office and then out at the airport in the public relations, community relations area. It was solid, it was respectable, but real estate aligned with how I think and how I see the world. I loved architecture, design, and like so many of you in the room, love to look at pretty houses. My husband didn't want me to get my real estate license. He wanted us to have flexibility, to be with my young family, and to be able to travel. But something in me knew that this wasn't about real estate. It was about alignment, doing what felt right, not just having a career. So I joined an office, Guarantee Real Estate, managed by an industry icon that many of you know, and she was my mentor, Sandy Darling. Sandy was strong, intelligent, and when she spoke, everyone listened. She was everything that I wanted to be. Because of her duties at the state level and at the national level in real estate and developing policy, she wasn't in the office much. And I had hoped then for mentorship from the other women at the office. But what I found instead was competition disguised as professionalism. Information was hoarded, questions were inconvenient. So I learned the real estate business from the copy machine. I would stand there at the copy machine, wait for Ruthie McLeod or some other very high-producing realtor to come up to the copy machine. She couldn't get away from me, right? And I could ask my questions. So I made a promise, if I ever was in a position in this industry that I was working with realtors, no one would ever have to learn the business at the copy machine. I sit here because much of our team is here, and I look at each of them because of those phone calls in the middle of the night or in the morning or on Saturdays. So that was the legacy that I learned. My first year at the Palm Shaw office, I was Rookie of the Year. My sales increased. I knew I had more to learn, and so I did. Pam Santee, my friend and industry icon of her own at that time, had suggested to me that I move from the all-female office at Guarantee at Palm and Shaw to the brand new Fort Washington office. So I did that because, of course, I always listened to Pam. So because of my production levels, I earned a private office, and I had my head down, and I worked tirelessly in a career that I loved. One day, Marie Thurup comes into my office, and if you knew Marie when she was alive, she was the real estate lady. And she was a big personality, and she said, Gayle, look, you're the top producer of the office. And I thought, how could that be? I just had my head down, I worked hard, and the results showed. So I was eager to continue my real estate career and education. So I went to conferences, and if you know me, I'm at any kind of conference, either state or national, that I can go to, dragging Pam or Haley or what have you with me. So I was eager to get more education, and I attended the National Association of Realtors conference in Orlando, and I heard Gary Keller speak for the first time. From that, I learned to believe in models, systems, leadership, vision. That Millionaire Real Estate Agent Red Book that he wrote was my Bible. So when the opportunity came to build something bigger, to open a Keller Williams franchise, I gave it everything I could. I found other partners to join me. We spent 2 years recruiting, planning, designing, dreaming. And then, with one phone call from the new regional manager, the brokerage was gone. Out of the blue, we were replaced by a new ownership group. It was about 2007, the market collapsed, and so did my certainty. For a long time, I blamed everyone else. And then years later, I asked myself the hardest question a leader can ask: where did I get in my own way? The answer wasn't comfortable. I was too controlling, too determined to carry everything myself. And because of that, the final work that never moved forward. That lesson took years, but it changed me. What I haven't shared publicly before this is by 2017, my world looked successful from the outside, but inside it was unraveling. My children were grown. My kids, the first set, had moved away, including Madison, went off to college. The house got quieter than I expected. I didn't understand what the empty nest felt like, so I didn't recognize it. Wine and alcohol filled the space until it didn't. In 2017, I became very ill. I was diagnosed with liver disease, possibly needing a liver transplant. I found myself sitting in a chair at Alcoholics Anonymous. Many of you know this story quietly. I've never said it out loud like this. I just celebrated 9 years of sobriety yesterday. That moment forced a reckoning. I took a long, hard, honest look at my life, and I chose to live. From 2017 to 2020, my husband Jim and I traveled the world. We went to China, we went to other parts of Asia, we went to Europe, Mexico City, Spain, wanted to retire there. So we sold our family home, we downsized, and we recreated our lives. We even considered retirement and thinking to move to Spain. But life had other plans. In January of 2020, everybody knows what happens. We had just returned home from Spain, and the world shut down. COVID stopped everything. Or so it seemed. In the middle of that stillness, I got a call from my friend, Pam Santee. Pam says, I need help. Online leads were flooding in, people were relocating, families needed space. And while many agents paused, Pam, as usual, leans in. We had known each other for 20 years, and when we started working together, something clicked. We respected each other, we were learning-based, we worked hard, and we loved it. For the first time, I wasn't trying to build alone. We recruited agents, not to control them, but to support them. In May of 2021, the Santee Phillips Group was born. Our daughters joined us, Madison, Trish. We leaned into training, into kindness, into collaboration. We built the business we always wished had existed. We wanted opportunity for stock, fair compensation, giving credit to agents for their work where credit was due, a culture where people could grow in. Today, the Santee Phillips Group serves communities across multiple counties. And the best part, I have no regrets. Because I spent 20 years becoming ready for the right partner, the right season, and the right reason. In closing, here's what I know. Owning the room doesn't come from control. It comes from clarity. It comes from letting go of who you thought you had to be and standing fully in who you are. If you're in a season of rebuilding, redefining, or quietly becoming, you are exactly where you need to be. And when you stop shrinking, stop numbing, and stop apologizing, you don't just own the room, you change it. Thank you.